Hi there. In this video, we'll be talking about working with groups. Now, when we talk about groups, we often think of a group project. But in Brightspace, you can also create discussion groups as well. Imagine this. You set up a jigsaw activity. This involves small groups, each in a discussion on a very specific topic. Then after a number of weeks, you swap those groups up so that students are in new groups where they can then talk based on their specialized knowledge and do transfer that way. We call that a jigsaw activity. So in this video, I will show you how to create discussion groups as well as create, of course, the group project. So let's first of all start with where we access groups. We access groups from course tools and then groups. This takes us to the manage group screen. So categories are the various group assignments that we have in our course. Often there'll be one category, the project group category. But this time I'm going to show you how we can might set up discussion groups as well. So I'm going to go new category. I'm going to go jigsaw part 1. And then I'm just going to scroll down and show you some of the options that we have. So we can set the type of enrollment. So number of groups, no enrollments. Imagine we're doing a course on political science where we want students to talk about autocracy, democracy, and communism. That way we'd have 3 groups and no auto enrollments would mean that we can manually assign students to those groups. We'll do that in just 2 seconds. Another example might be number of groups where students are automatically assigned to those groups. So therefore we might have those 3 groups. Again, autocracy, democracy, and communism, and we can assign students that way. Another option that we often have is groups of a certain number of students, such as if we wanted to have 4 people in each group, then depending on the number of enrollments, then we'd have the number of groups depending on that. And we can also have students self-enroll into groups as well. So they might go, I want to know all about blah, blah. This could also be an activity where, first of all, students are kind of pitching an idea and they're trying to get other students into their group. So it's a way of building up leadership skills in your course. I'm going to choose a number of groups because we want 3 groups. And then I'm just going to scroll down here. And what I want to do is start discussions. So I'm going to have a discussion. We then create a new topic. And then create a new forum as well. And I have this as my group discussion topic. So they call this my jigsaw discussion. We call it jigsaw because the students are different pieces and then they fit together to make up a full picture. Pretty exciting. I'll save this. And we won't do assignments yet, we won't do lockers yet. So our next step is where we're creating our restricted topics. So students can only look in their own topic. They can't see other topics. So this is what makes it so exciting. So you can have a group on each topic and they can type away. So we can just have a description which describes what they have to do. Then we can go save and next. And there we go, we've created our discussion topics with 1 forum created. Let's have a look at what this looks like. So, got our 3 groups, got our 3 discussion things. So if we go into our discussions, this is what it'll look like. If we come down to, because I put it into my own little jigsaw discussion, so therefore we have our group 1 discussion. And if we go into that, they each get a thread. So we can start a thread for a particular group. So we'll go group 1. And this group can be on autocracy. And they can be studying to their heart is content on autocracy. And that could be what they have to start off with. So we'll post that one. Oh, a post is actually required, so we have to write in here. So we'll put in a description for them. Use this discussion to post your thoughts on the readings. And I copy that, so I'm going to type a similar thing for the next group as well. So I'm going to post this one. So group 1 can only see this thought, this discussion. We can start a new thread for group 2, and they can be on democracy. I'll paste that again. So as you can see, you can start building up, and you do the same thing for group 3. So we want these students to do that for a number of weeks, but what we'll do is we'll create another category. So when we do the second part of the jigsaw activity, we can then assign into different categories. So I'm going to call this jigsaw part 2. And this time, I want to have number of groups, no auto enrollments. The reason for this is that I then want to be able to manually assign students to different groups so that they can engage in discussions as well. So we'll set up another discussion area. We'll put this back also in my jigsaw discussion. And we can do this all over again. So I'll create save. So this is the part 2 discussion. So this is basically the forum type. So in your threads, you can discuss the merits of each political system. So again, each student will be an expert on their particular area, and then they can share that knowledge. So we go back to our discussion. Here's part 1, part 2, and we can set up the different groups in that one as well. So we can set up group-specific discussions, which is kind of exciting. This is also good in case students are shy. You can get them a bit more familiar with a small group, but they're sharing their ideas before kind of expanding them out to like other students as well. So it's a good way for the students who are a little bit more introverted to express their opinions. Now let's do the good old group assignment, the ones that we love so much. So we're going to create a project group. And in this case, I want students to self-enroll in groups of 4 students. So what I'll be doing in this one, we might have an open forum where students have to pitch their ideas, and then they can join the groups based on who's got what idea. So it's a way of, again, for students to show their leadership skills. And in this one, we can also set up discussion areas. So when they are in their groups, they create a new forum. So we can call this your group project discussion forum. And you can give your forum a title there, some ground rules. You can set up lockers. Lockers are file repositories where students within a group can share files, but other students in other groups can't see those files. So it's kind of like, as an instructor, you can see what they're contributing to these lockers, but other students cannot. Students who are not in those groups cannot, but the students within the group can share those files. And of course, we want to set up the assignment as well. So we'll scroll down, see what the options are here. So there's file submission. And the great thing about groups is that when group assignments are set up, they only have to submit once, and then you can mark for everybody in the group. Alternatively, you can also do, if there's a presentation, you can also observe it in person as well. That's a pretty cool option. And then go file submission. You might also have a text submission, which is kind of good if you want students to submit a Google Doc. Because then you can use the history button to see if all the students are contributing to the file, where they've been working on it over the semester. So that's another good option as well. Now save this, and it'll ask us next to set up the discussions. So in this case, let's just see what happens if we go one topic per group. We do this one because they might have multiple threads within their project. They might have a thread for brainstorming, a thread for piloting, a thread for execution. So we'll create that. And then we can create our assignment as well. So this would be our group project. And oftentimes your group projects have multiple milestones, so you can describe your project down here. We'll scroll down the page and we'll explore together the options that we have. So of course, if you want to record a video of yourself describing what the project is, you have that option, or an audio recording of doing that, as well as worked examples. You can post that there. So scroll down. So we have file submission. Allow them to submit more than one file. There could be a whole repository of files that they submit, and we'll keep all submissions as well. That's in case if they submit the wrong file, they can keep submitting, or if you get feedback, they can resubmit as well. We can give it a score, and we can also create a gradebook item for it as well. Oh, that's the wrong one. It's a numeric one, so that's exactly what we want. We'll just give it a group project. There we go. So we're adding it to the project to the gradebook as a group project, and that's it. We'll hit save. Now I'm just going to give you a little bit of a warning. Sometimes when you create a group project, it throws an error. It's okay if this happens. There we go. There's the error. I expected that, but don't worry. We can just go back into our course and everything will be created just fine. So if we go into our assignments, there's our group project, and we know it's a group project because it's got the little group icon next to it. And if we go into our discussions, we can tell that a group discussion is a group discussion because it also has this little group icon next to it as well. So we've got a jigsaw discussion, we've got a group project discussion as well. So each group can have their own topic and multiple threads in it as well. So there we go. There we have our groups. They're really exciting. I hope you enjoy them. See you later.